Most people fail at attraction because they try too hard. They explain too much, give too much, and chase approval, and reveals the one dirty psychological shift that flips attraction without begging, impressing, or performing. Listen carefully. People are taught a dangerous lie, that attraction is earned by pleasing, agreeing, and proving goodness. From childhood, they are trained to believe that being nice creates desire, that constant validation builds connection, that showing effort guarantees reward. This belief does not merely fail in seduction, it actively destroys it. Desire is not a moral response, it is a psychological one. Power, not politeness, ignites attraction. Power is felt before it is understood. It is sensed in posture, in timing, in emotional restraint. When someone enters a room and does not seek approval, the room adjusts itself around them. This is not arrogance, this is internal authority. And authority is magnetic. Those who try to please communicate one thing without realizing it. I need you to feel secure. Need is never attractive. Need is a request for mercy. Power, on the other hand, suggests choice. It implies that attention is given, not begged for. When you offer yourself too freely, you remove all tension. When there is no tension, there is no curiosity. When there is no curiosity, desire dies quietly. Machiavelli observed that people respect what they cannot easily control. In seduction, control is emotional, not physical. The one who reacts less controls more. The one who explains less appears stronger. The one who remains composed when outcomes are uncertain signals inner abundance. This is why indifference, when authentic, outperforms flattery every time. Pleasing behavior attempts to buy attraction through service. Power-based attraction lets the other person invest first. Investment creates attachment. This is not manipulation, this is human nature. People value what costs them something: time, effort, emotional risk. When you remove all obstacles, you remove value itself. Consider how attention works. Attention given freely feels common. Attention given selectively feels rare. Scarcity sharpens desire. When you do not rush to respond, when you do not flood the interaction with reassurance, when you allow space to exist, the other mind fills that space with imagination. And imagination is where attraction grows strongest. Power is also emotional steadiness. The ability to remain grounded, whether accepted or rejected, communicates self-sufficiency. This terrifies and fascinates at the same time. It says, I am not dependent on your reaction to exist. People are drawn to what feels complete without them, because they want to be chosen by strength, not leaned on by weakness. This is why overgiving fails. Compliments given without restraint lose weight. Availability without boundaries loses intrigue. Agreement without independent thought loses respect. Seduction is not about convincing someone of your worth. It is about never needing to explain it. Machiavelli understood that people follow those who appear certain, not those who appear eager. Certainty creates safety. Eagerness creates pressure. Pressure repels. Calm confidence invites approach. When you stop trying to be liked, you begin to be felt. Desire rises when someone senses that your approval must be earned, not assumed. When your presence is grounded, your silence intentional, your attention measured, others lean forward emotionally. They begin to qualify themselves. They seek your reactions. They wonder where they stand. This is the moment power replaces pleasing. And once that shift occurs, attraction no longer needs persuasion, because the dynamic has already been decided in the subconscious, long before words attempt to catch up. Every interaction has a frame, whether you see it or not. A frame is the invisible structure that decides who leads, who reacts, and whose reality dominates the moment. Most people lose attraction before it ever has a chance to grow because they allow someone else to define that frame. They walk into conversations trying to adapt, impress, or fit in, never realizing they have already surrendered power. The person who controls the frame controls meaning. They decide what matters, what is humorous, what is acceptable, and what is ignored. This is why seduction rarely belongs to the one who speaks the most, but to the one whose presence subtly shapes the emotional temperature of the room. Machiavelli understood that authority does not announce itself. It is assumed by those who act as if it already exists. When you chase approval, you enter the other person's frame. You begin performing for their standards, reacting to their moods, adjusting your tone to their expectations. In doing so, you communicate that their reality outranks yours. Attraction cannot grow here, because attraction requires asymmetry. Someone must lead, and someone must respond. Frame control begins internally. It is the refusal to rush emotionally, the refusal to justify your preferences, the refusal to compete for attention. When you are comfortable holding your ground without explanation, you create gravity. Others begin orbiting around your perspective because certainty is calming in a world filled with emotional noise. Notice how powerful individuals respond to challenges. They do not defend themselves emotionally. They do not argue to prove worth. They either dismiss, redirect, or reframe the situation entirely. This is not arrogance, it is composure. And composure signals dominance far louder than aggression ever could. In seduction, controlling the frame means deciding the pace. When things move too fast emotionally, value collapses. When everything is instantly available, nothing feels earned. By slowing interactions, by allowing pauses, by not rushing to close emotional distance, you force the other person to step forward. Each step they take increases their investment and strengthens your position. Language also reveals frame control. When you ask permission to exist, you weaken your stance. When you state observations calmly, without seeking agreement, you establish authority. Machiavelli wrote that people believe what they see demonstrated, not what they hear explained. Frame control is demonstrated through behavior, not words. Those who lose control of the frame often mistake reaction for connection. They believe emotional intensity equals attraction. In reality, it often signals instability. True attraction grows in the presence of emotional leadership. Leadership means you remain steady while emotions fluctuate around you. When someone tests you, they are not attacking you, they are checking the strength of your frame. Do you collapse into explanation, or do you remain unshaken? Do you chase clarity, or do you allow ambiguity to exist? The stronger your frame, the less you need to clarify your intentions. Your actions already speak. Machiavelli advised rulers to shape perception rather than chase approval. In seduction, perception is shaped when your reactions are deliberate, your boundaries unspoken yet firm, and your attention selective. You do not argue your value. You let others feel it through the way the interaction bends around you. Control the frame, and you no longer fear outcomes. Rejection loses its sting because you were never begging for validation in the first place. Approval feels earned, not owed. And attraction stops being something you hope for and becomes something you quietly allow to unfold on your terms. Most people believe comfort is the goal. They think if they can make someone feel safe, understood, relaxed, and emotionally settled, attraction will naturally follow. This belief sounds reasonable, compassionate, and socially approved. It is also the fastest way to be forgotten. Comfort soothes, but it does not ignite. Emotional comfort tells the nervous system there is nothing at stake, nothing to win, nothing to lose. And when nothing is at stake, desire goes dormant. The mind stops leaning forward. Curiosity fades, attention drifts. Comfort is where attraction goes to rest, not where it is born. Machiavelli understood that people are moved more by tension than by peace. Stability maintains power, but tension creates movement. In seduction, movement is everything. Without emotional movement, there is no pull, no anticipation, no internal dialogue replaying your presence when you are gone. Emotional tension is the space between certainty and uncertainty. It is the feeling of not fully knowing where one stands. It is the pause before a response. It is the restrained reaction where emotion could have spilled but didn't. That restraint forces the other person to engage internally. They begin filling the silence with thought. They start assigning meaning. This is where attachment quietly forms. Comfort-heavy behavior tries to eliminate uncertainty. It over-explains intentions. It reassures too quickly. It smooths every edge before friction can even appear. But friction is not the enemy of attraction. Friction is proof of polarity. Without polarity, there is no spark. When you rush to make someone comfortable, you send a subtle message that you're afraid of their discomfort. Fear transfers power. The person who can tolerate emotional tension controls the interaction. The person who rushes to dissolve it gives up leverage. Emotional tension does not mean chaos or drama. It means emotional discipline. It means allowing reactions to exist without immediately resolving them. It means letting interest breathe instead of suffocating it with certainty. Machiavelli would say that unpredictability, when controlled, keeps people alert. Alert minds are engaged minds. Think about how desire behaves. It grows in anticipation, not fulfillment. The moment everything is known, desire plateaus. This is why mystery is not a trick but a condition. When you reveal everything too soon, you collapse the future into the present. There is nothing left to discover. Comfort creates emotional flatness. Tension creates emotional contrast. Contrast sharpens perception. When someone feels slightly unsettled in your presence, not unsafe but intrigued, their nervous system marks you as significant. You stand out from the predictable background of emotional availability they are used to. Machiavelli warned that being too generous with mercy weakens authority. In Seduction, being too generous with reassurance weakens attraction. When you allow someone to wonder, to question, to feel just a hint of emotional risk, you elevate the interaction from casual to compelling. The strongest tension comes from self-control. When you feel something but do not rush to express it. When you desire but do not chase. When you enjoy attention but do not cling to it. This restraint communicates inner strength. Strength creates safety at a deeper level than comfort ever could. People do not become obsessed with what makes them feel settled. They become obsessed with what keeps them emotionally awake. Tension keeps the mind engaged long after the interaction ends, replaying moments, analyzing tone, revisiting pauses, searching for meaning, wondering what comes next. Human desire sharpens in absence. This is not poetry, it is psychology. When something is always present, always available, always predictable, the mind stops reaching for it. The nervous system adapts, and what once felt exciting becomes background noise. Machiavelli understood that power weakens when it is overexposed. The same law governs attraction. Presence creates familiarity. Absence creates value. When you are constantly available, you remove the opportunity for longing to form. Longing requires space. It needs time to stretch, to echo, to grow louder in silence. Restraint is not withdrawal out of fear, it is presence with discipline. It is knowing when to step back so the other person steps forward emotionally. Mystery thrives where information is incomplete. The human mind hates unfinished stories. When you do not reveal everything, when you do not explain every thought, when your inner world is hinted at but not handed over, curiosity activates. Curiosity keeps attention alive. Attention fuels attraction. Most people destroy mystery by oversharing. They narrate their emotions, their intentions, their availability, their desires. Thinking transparency creates trust. What it often creates instead is predictability. Predictability feels safe, but it does not feel seductive. Seduction requires the unknown. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should be seen but not fully known, familiar enough to be felt, distant enough to be respected. The same balance applies here. When someone cannot fully read you, they invest mental energy trying. That mental investment binds them closer than any confession ever could. Absence also recalibrates power. When you leave first, when you end interactions before emotional saturation, when you do not linger for validation, you communicate self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is deeply attractive because it implies choice. It says, I am here because I want to be, not because I need to be. Restraint is often mistaken for disinterest. In truth, it is control. Control over impulse, over reaction, over emotional exposure. This control signals maturity and inner strength. Machiavelli understood that those who govern themselves appear capable of governing others. In Seduction, self-governance creates gravitational pull. Mystery does not mean deception, it means selective revelation. You allow layers to unfold over time. Each interaction reveals something new, but never everything. This creates progression. Progression creates momentum. Momentum sustains desire. When you disappear for a while, something interesting happens. The other person begins to feel your absence as a presence. Your silence becomes louder than words. They replay conversations, search for meaning, wonder what you are doing. Who else has access to you? Their imagination works on your behalf. No message could compete with that. Overpresence kills imagination. Absence fuels it. Machiavelli warned against being too generous with access. Access is currency. When it is rare, it is valued. When it is unlimited, it is wasted. By pacing access to your time, your attention, your emotional world, you elevate your position without a single demand. Mystery also protects you. It keeps your emotional center intact. When you do not pour everything out at once, you remain grounded. Grounded people are attractive because they do not leak energy. They contain it. Containment creates intensity. The most seductive individuals are not the loudest, the most expressive, or the most available. They are the ones who leave just enough unanswered. Just enough unfinished, just enough distance for desire to stretch across the gap and pull harder each time it tries to close it. This is the truth most people avoid because it demands discipline instead of performance. Seduction is not built through effort, explanations, or emotional generosity. It is built through power, framing, tension, and restraint. Machiavelli did not teach how to be loved, he taught how to be effective. And effectiveness in attraction comes from understanding human nature, not arguing with it. When you stop pleasing and start standing, when you stop reacting and start leading, when you stop comforting and start creating tension, when you stop overexposing and start withholding, the dynamic shifts without a single dramatic move. Attraction no longer feels forced because it is no longer chased. It emerges naturally from imbalance, from curiosity, from the quiet authority of someone who does not need to convince. Master these principles, and seduction stops being something you do and becomes something that happens around you, because power, once felt, does not need permission to be desired.